Being a single mom is really hard. It's so overwhelming and exhausting and emotionally draining.
Welcome to another Unfolding Growth video. Let's have fun and learn together. Note, this is for entertainment purposes only. Like and subscribe.
Being a single mom is really hard. It's so overwhelming and exhausting and emotionally draining. I am so overstimulated and overwhelmed, and I just want a break. And I'm not complaining because I love being a mom and I wouldn't trade it for anything, but it's really hard when you have to do it all on your own. So if you have a single mom friend, hug her. Tell her that she's doing a really good job because she needs to hear it.
Welcome, everyone. This is really touching, but please, remember you can give those kids to their dad and take a breath. If the father is there, don't strain till you get to this point. I admit bringing up kids alone can be draining, so give the men their kids to also take part. Don't cry, and yet the man is fighting to have some type of custody of the kids.
I am a divorced mum of two, and I've been separated now for 3 years, and I have experienced what it feels like to be in a marriage where you feel alone and you feel undesired, you feel unsupported, and you feel unheard. And being in that situation can be crippling to your self-esteem and confidence. And what I have experienced in my journey is that I discovered that I had an anxious attachment. So my people-pleasing tendencies got me into these situations with mostly avoidant style men.
Every day we keep on learning, but the funny thing is, the same things that most people talk about are the same recurring events, and women are not taking time to listen. Can she just admit she chooses the men that she clearly knows won't treat her like a queen? Notice how she spoke about entertaining the most avoidant men. If you clearly see the signs that someone is not giving you the attention that you need, why would you go ahead and be with them, then later come complaining because of your poor judgment? Let us learn to live with the consequences of our poor decisions.
And this is not a video to bash my ex-husband. It is not a video to, bash men at all. This is a video of how you can empower yourself after a divorce. And my top tip for getting through a divorce when you're a little anxiously attached, maybe you feel really exhausted and you feel really low, your self-worth is just like bottomed out, and you're scared that you're going to be alone forever. Maybe you're very strong, you're very independent, you've got your career sorted, you've got your kids sorted, you can do amazing things, and you're just worried that you're not going to nail that piece and find your person. And I'm here to tell you that you absolutely can, and you absolutely will. And it really requires just to see relationships a little differently. And by differently, I mean dating in a way where you put yourself first and you know what you want. So getting clarity. Okay, do I want to be married again? Do I want to just have a long-term committed plan with someone? Do I want more kids? Getting clear on that. And then after that, really diving into how you date because what will happen is the previous people you were with and your patterns of dating in the past will reoccur. So if you look at what those patterns were and you recognize that you are a part of the type of person you attract, then clearly that needs to be a little different.
What was all that mumbling for? It is very funny that after divorce, that is, when you get the closure, that you need to check your ways of dating and be more serious. I feel like she has talked so much and said nothing. Woman, your poor decisions will not affect anyone else except your own self. You talk about not bashing your husband, but still give touches of why you think you left him and things that he did to you. Where is the accountability on your side? Change is needed, people. Change is needed.
Okay, so I'm from South Africa and I've been living in the US now for 2 years. And I've decided I'm going to stop trying to figure out these cultural differences on my own, and I'm going to start a dialogue about them. A lot of people in America ask me, like, oh, what are some of the cultural differences, or some of the culture shocks you've experienced? And I'm like, there's actually a lot of them. And so I'm going to just start documenting them on here. The first one is just the reality that a lot of couples meet online. So I side hustle as a wedding DJ sometimes. And a lot of the couples I've DJed for in the US met online. And it's quite a successful way of meeting people, right? So now I'm realizing, oh, okay, I'm going to have to, start doing my due diligence and getting on these dating apps.
Ladies are realizing that guys have stopped approaching them in public. It is very funny when you hear how ladies bash men who approach them in public, yet sometime later, they come complaining how men have changed and saying they are not men enough and hiding behind. Men are intimidated by me. It is tough approaching a woman because that can be considered sexual abuse. Men are prioritizing their peace.
The single mothers that I know are doing exceptionally well, thus resulting in them producing children who are well-behaved, well-rounded. They have great character. Their grades are amazing. They're in extracurricular activities. They're well-adjusted and well-traveled. Because one of the biggest contributing factors to being a successful single mother is finances. If that mother has access to finances and resources, she is able to provide her child a life of peace and structure, thus resulting in happy children. Now, by no means am I saying and promoting single motherhood. However, there are women out there choosing to remain in relationships with men just to say that their children are being raised in a two-parent household. If that man is abusive, if that man is emotionally immature, if that man is not contributing financially, emotionally, spiritually, if he is not an active partner and a father and y'all are walking on eggshells, you are doing your children more of a disservice than you are good, just because you're trying to avoid the negative stigma and narrative of being a single mother.
I always wonder, why do women have to try to show how leaving your relationship is the better way when there is an issue? I think it is time men started giving advice to fellow men on the internet on how to leave their wives if they don't serve all their needs. Finances are very important for a family and kids to be happy, but there's an age that children get and they never listen to their mothers. This behavior brings about raising men who have been too pampered and have not been disciplined enough, therefore entitlement, and weak men are introduced to society. Women cannot bring up boys to be men. This boys will learn the hard way.
I'm a divorced single mother with 4 kids and I regret being divorced every single day. Hi there, I'm a huge fan of your TikTok video. I want to share my experience with you all, so maybe someone can give me some good advice. So yes, I've been married 4 times in my life, and every single time I was married, the relationship just fell down. I don't want to get into why my relationships failed, but every single marriage that I've had so far has basically ended in a divorce. And now I have 4 young kids under the age of 7 living with me. Seeing as I'm not with any of their dads, they go and visit their fathers in the weekend. And from Monday to Friday, and majority of the time, they live with me. And despite knowing that I divorced these men for a reason, and that they were either abusive or were not financially supporting me or were cheating on me, I now feel extremely lonely and feel bad about the fact that I divorced so many men. None of these men were good. They seemed good in the beginning, but then started abusing me, using me, harassing me, and weren't treating me like a good wife. And now, after 4 failed marriages, I'm living as a single mother with my kids. And even though I'm constantly exhausted from having to take care of 4 young kids by myself during the weekdays, when the weekend does eventually come and they all go to their father's homes to spend time with them, I feel even more lonely than I do originally. My kids are my everything. I can't work now because I have to look after them. All I do is stay at home and look after them. And I know that sounds easy, but it's so difficult. I'm the one who has to do the school runs, pack their lunches, go on trips with them, organize their uniform, do laundry, cooking, everything. I'm basically the parent that makes the decision on every single thing to do with them. The fathers only get to spend the weekend time with them because that's what we arranged. And during the weekend, they just do fun things like go out to eat or watch movies, etc. It doesn't matter if I'm sick or unwell or anything else happening with me. I always have to look after my kids, which I know I'm grateful to have them, but it's exhausting. And recently, I've been feeling even more like a loner because one of my last friends who was unmarried has finally gotten married to the love of her life. Mashallah, alhamdulillah, I don't want to give her the eye, but she's gotten married and she told me that she's extremely happy with her new husband. And she was in a relationship with her husband for the last 2 years, and he was good to her, so she knows she's in for a good marriage. I'm happy for her, but at the same time, I can't help feeling a bit jealous. Now, after this friend got married, every single one of my friends have now gotten married. There's no one in my friend circle or anyone close to my age who's left unmarried or single. Most of my friends do have kids, and all of their kids live with both of their parents together. I feel so bad for my kids as well, having to pack their bags in the weekend going back and forth between their mum and dad's house. Everywhere I go, I seem to see couples, families going together, living together. I see husbands taking care of their wives. Even when I gave birth, I had to do it alone for my 4th child. No one was there to help me out with postpartum care or anything. I'm a lot older, so my parents passed away years ago, and I have no siblings. So basically, that leaves me all by myself. Now I feel like an absolute loser, and I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have divorced all those men. Now my brain is telling me maybe I was the problem if I'm the one going around divorcing so many men. I feel like I've given up on marriage, but at the same time, I want a partner as well. I want a companion to come home to. Yes, I have a home full of kids, but it's not the same thing. And I feel like my kids also need another parent living with them. I don't know what to do. Honestly, sis, I would just recommend making loads of dua. Just make dua and pray to God. That's the best thing you can do. We'll make dua for you as well, inshallah. And hopefully, Allah will send you the right person for you to marry. I'm so sorry that you're going through this as well. Please don't ever go back to the people that you divorced. You divorced someone for a reason. You wouldn't just wake up one day and decide, I want to divorce you. Like, it would have been for a reason. And obviously, when you're feeling lonely, you might think that, oh, I made a mistake. But I assure you, you probably haven't made a mistake.
I think we are becoming delusional every single day. She should definitely pray because she will be single for a long while. Why do people come to their senses after messing so badly? I would like to understand, how do you get 4 kids from different fathers and end up divorcing all 4 men and think they were a problem? You have to understand that if they were abusive in your choice of men and the decisions you made were very poor, then how do you allow yourself to get pregnant for 4 men within a duration of 7 years? That is crazy to me. The truth is, I don't think there's a man that can agree to raising 4 kids from different fathers with the right mind. My advice, adapt and grow a tough skin. It won't be easy for a long time. Decisions have consequences. We have to agree on that.
Please repost this. Even if you can't help, maybe somebody else can. And I am praying for a miracle. I'm in a terrible situation. I'm just trying to get my newborn baby fed. Her father is an alcoholic. He has effectively abandoned us. It's not really safe for me to interact with him. I can't afford formula. I'm failing at breastfeeding because I'm under too much stress and because she's lip, cheek, and tongue-tied. I have an appointment to get her ties revised next week, but I can't afford that either. I feel like I have nowhere to turn, and it seemed worth it to just swallow my pride and ask the internet for help. Whatever you can do makes a difference, and even if it's just reposting, please. Thank you.
These are tough times, people. Let us make wise, informed decisions before commitments. It is that simple.
Hi guys, hi everyone. I'm making this video because I've had a lot of messages from women, mothers, single mothers, women that are married, that are currently struggling in their marriages, single mothers that are struggling, asking me how did I do it, how did I cope. I'm just trying to go deep into, because it seems like it's easier said than done, you know. And I want people out there to know that it's not easy. Being a single mother was the hardest decision that I've ever made in my life, and it's currently still hard. It's still hard. It's not easy, and it's not going to be easy, but nothing in the world, nothing in life is easy, you know, as long as you have peace of mind. So this is my story, guys. This is the first time I'm ever doing this on, you know, out there for the public or everyone to see. You know, when I left my marriage, I was in second year of university. I didn't have a job. I was, you know, a student nurse slash housewife. I didn't have a job. So it was extremely hard. That is the time as well that COVID hit us. So COVID hit us that time as well. That's when I left my marriage. During COVID, and then me in second year of university, I was at a breaking point, and I said, I can't juggle this. It's just too much. There were moments whereby I would just stand up from bed and collapse, faint, you know. And I made the decision that, listen, my body is under a lot of pressure. My mental health is going down the drain. It's either I live or I die. Funny thing, yeah, that men don't realize is that women, we mentally leave the relationship before we actually physically leave. And a lot of times when a woman leaves their relationship or marriage, the man becomes very surprised and is dumbfounded by the decision you make and think, oh, you're just playing. No, when a woman has had enough, she's had enough, and she just walks out. But then they fail to realize that we've already walked out mentally before we actually physically leave. You know, and that was the case with me. I was mentally just gone, you know. So when I made that decision that it's the end, I didn't even know what tomorrow would bring for me and my kids. I didn't know what I would do. Because remember, I was a student nurse with no job. You know, who would help me with my kids' childcare? Sorry. In my mind, I thought, okay, he's the father of the kids. He might help. I never knew that today this would be the case. So long story short, I left, you know, and things have been hard. There were days where I didn't even know what me and my kids would eat. There are days I didn't even know how I would go to my placement because I didn't have money to put fuel in my car. It was the hardest decision ever. You know, there were days where my oldest daughter would go to school and would ask me for bus money, and I didn't have any. It was the hardest decision I've ever made, but it was worth it because right now my kids are good. They can talk. There's no walking on eggshells. They can be themselves. They are allowed to speak their own opinion. You know, they are allowed to speak whatever that's in their mind, whatever bothers them. You know, and that's what I love to see. It has been worth it. You know, I have been through it. My kids and I have been through it, and they see how much I've struggled. And they are so appreciative and so patient that even if they want something and I can't provide them with it at the moment, they understand because why? They see the struggles that you've been through and how hard you're working as a single mother. I'm at that point whereby right now I'm comfortable with my children. That at this moment, I used to chase him for child maintenance, but I've cancelled the claim. I've cancelled and withdrawn the claim, and I'm no longer chasing. I'm no longer doing it because I shouldn't be forcing someone to take care of their responsibilities. You know, there's more to come for me and my children. I'm getting a bit emotional, but God knows that we have suffered. The thing about me and my kids is Since the decision I made, I communicate with them. We have weekly meetings, yes. And especially my oldest daughter, she helps me a lot. She's my angel. She helps me a lot. And we talk a lot. I talk to her about everything. She's going to university in September. She's leaving my side, and I'm proud of her, very proud. I know that I'm going to be an emotional wreck when she leaves, but it is what it is. They grow and they leave. But I'm happy. Going on holidays, got myself a new car, bigger car for me and my kids, working 2 jobs. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Don't kill yourself, ladies.
Basically, from the whole story, what I've understood is that women leave relationships mentally long before they physically leave a man. But during that time, they never plan what they're going to do to survive or feed the kids. This leads to the kids suffering because of their need to be happy. And therefore, kids have trauma, which defines them forever. If you decide to leave, let the kids enjoy being with their father as you go along and fix yourself or get your life in order. That was all for today. Hope you enjoyed the conversations. For any correction or addition, please write in the comment section, and we will definitely get back to you. It has been real. Catch you in the next video. Like and subscribe.